Michelle and Sean, that was a tough way to go out on the Amazing Race. First backwards. But what was it like watching the episode last night?
Actually, it was a pretty good episode.
It was, yeah.
I was
A lot of
glued.
suspense.
Right, it was. To be honest, I thought it was a really good
And
episode.
I was suspenseful, just hoping it would change, just hoping it would end differently, even though I actually was there.
We were like, oh, we know what's gonna happen here. We're very clear on what's gonna happen here.
I think it was fun because we don't, of course, you don't see other people's race. You're on the race. So like watching Sunny and Busy go through that, and then just watching and then them actually get the harder thing. I was telling them, I think harder things are your thing.
Yeah.
Like, your firefighter women, I think hard is your comfort zone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was so interesting to me that they end up getting the harder side of the.
Yeah. And he also did that with like the banner.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, harder, just go for the harder, because harder is your.
It worked. It worked for them.
It works for them, and so that was pretty funny.
I mean, it was a tough episode, but it was a dope ending.
Yes,
it was a great ending. We've never seen Phil jump rope.
Right. So while it was tough that we lost, we just had a great time. We were screaming at the screen when we saw Phil in the ropes. I was like, oh my God, Phil is in the ropes. Like, I didn't know. I was like, Phil is in the ropes. And we were very excited about that because that was our goal too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To get Phil in.
Well, our goal was to get the world jumping. I mean, so yes.
Our goal was to win $1 million.
Hello, that was first.
Have a great time.
Yeah.
And then get the world jumping.
In that order. No.
I mean, you got 2 out of 3, I think. So, not bad.
Not bad.
So how long were you actually at the roadblock? Because it clearly got dark.
It got dark.
Hours.
I didn't have a
I did
have a watch, which is funny, but I didn't look at how long. It had to be
at least
4 hours.
Like 4 hours.
At least.
It had to be like 4 hours.
Yeah. Wow.
Which was good. I'm listening.
Well, we saw you do at least 19 attempts. Do you can you even guess like how many you went through before you finally got it right?
It felt like 100.
It literally felt like 100.
No,
for real.
Because after like 10, you can't count. You can't number. As I see it on the screen, I'm like, oh, I couldn't do that in person. It felt like it literally felt like 100. Yeah. It was really.
Well, because I think you went back and forth 100 times.
Yeah.
But you asked them 19 times because literally it was 100 times. I never saw anybody run that much effort. Like the task is like around the corner. So the statues are around the corner. You literally have to it's like a New York block. That's how I can compare. I'm from New York. So it's like this long block. You go around the corner, you look at the statue, then you run all the way back, and then you look at the map. And it's just like she did that at least 100 times.
And then it even took longer. It's not like as soon as Karishma left, it was still time after that.
Yeah.
So it was significant.
Because we got there pretty early. Like when we started the race, we were like 10th or 11th. We were last.
We were last.
And then by the time we got to that roadblock, we
had jumped ahead.
We had jumped ahead to maybe like 6.
Yeah.
So we were moving and grooving, like on our way there. We were like, yeah, we're doing it. We're in a groove.
And it said artsy, and Sean thought it was gonna be artsy. So that's why he gave it to me. Even though I was telling him, no, you do it. And he was like, no, but it wasn't artsy. It was more
memorization.
It was more memorization. So see, and
which would have been my jam. Yes. That would have been it for 100%. Me. Had I known it was memorization, I would have.
That tricked a lot of teams, I think, because they saw art.
It did.
It's like painting or something.
Yes.
Except for people who asked their taxi driver for their phone.
Genius.
Said, "Oh my goodness."
Absolutely.
Oh my
goodness. Genius.
So Michelle, how come you couldn't figure out how to orient yourself on the map? What was your issue there?
No, say this again, but literally, so what happened was, when a dance teacher teaches a dance, they teach you this way. They teach you the same way you're going to be learning the dance. Our side was almost like when you figured it out, then you had to figure out that it was almost like a dance teacher who turned around and is teaching you to dance facing you. So if you were on the side, once you figure out where you were orientation-wise, you were in the place where you could just place it like this. So I did that, but then I had to realize it was turned around on the other side as well. So, and also I didn't sleep the night before. We were last. We had muddy clothes. I had to handle that. So no sleep, the pressure of the race. I think my brain was like, where am I?
Mhm.
Am I?
So how did you finally figure it out? Like when did it all click for you?
After Karishma left a while afterwards. And after, eventually you do, especially when it's not the pressure anymore, because I realized Karishma was really gone. It's like I calmed down even more and was just like,
for a long time.
You know what I mean? Just like, all right, Michelle.
Mhm.
Yeah. Then,
Well, when the firefighters showed up, did you and Karishma ever consider working together? Is like we can both try to finish this together, and like we know like we're not gonna be the last ones here because there's a team behind us.
we did for 2.5 seconds, but realistically, the firefighters I know they could outrun me. I don't know about anybody else. Also, when I saw her, I thought they do this. Like in my head, firefighters have to look at situations to see where fires are. So I didn't think she was gonna struggle at all. Even when I saw her come up, I said, "Oh, she gonna rock this in a few seconds." Also, Karishma and I were also so lost. It was like the lost helping the lost.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, "Oh, you got that boy, you got that." It was like, I don't know either.
Yeah.
It was just so. Yeah.
And they were both like passing each other. With like, one would be at the map, the other would be around the corner. So it was like it's like they weren't together at the same time.
And because we were both wrong, it's like, who do we trust?
Who do we trust? That's
should
right.
I trust you in telling me that this is right, or should I trust you? No, you could be wrong, but I could, so yeah.
Well, Sean, what were you thinking standing on the sidelines and then watching teams, pass?
Well, I was still staying positive because I try to filter that all out because I was just like, we could still win it. We still have times. I mean, of course, you see teams leaving, you get a little nervous, but I was just like, Michelle's gonna do it. Let's go. I was encouraging her. I was screaming, Michelle, you can do it. And I really meant it. That's the thing. I really meant it because I always say getting nervous and being scared it's a waste of energy. So I would just rather focus my energy on getting it done, like focusing on the task. And so that's really where my mind was. I felt like she could have pulled it off until
eventually we laughed
until everybody left and it was kind of late.
And then the sunset.
Yeah.
And the sun started coming down.
Did you have any idea, just being on the side, like what her issue might have been? Like what were you thinking like the task was? Like you didn't have the details.
I couldn't tell because I didn't even know that her side was different. So there was two sides that you could have. So there's two sides that you could have gone on. The other side where she says that the map is switched, and then the other side where the map is exactly the way the
same map is just placed
exactly the way it's set up, right? And so I didn't know it was switched. What I wanted to scream out to her was, Michelle, ask somebody for help.
Because I didn't work with anybody.
She didn't work with anybody.
I tried,
but some teams are helping each other. Right. And it was almost like Michelle for a long time didn't see it. And I was like, Michelle, please look around.
You could, to be honest.
She didn't know you can get help.
Yeah.
I felt like, yeah, she probably had she got some help earlier when we first got there with some of the other teams, then she probably would have moved along a lot faster.
Or maybe if you came across Tammy and Vinny, she just helped Danny.
Right. Set him up. She set him up.
Set him up, and then he breezed through it. Well, in the beginning of the leg, you guys paraglided, and Sean, last week we saw you had trouble with the coffee step. So why did you
No.
have such an easy time of the paragliding, but not so much of the steps?
Well, the thing is, it's all about overcoming my fears. Like that was the biggest thing for me, even before I got on the show. And this show was like, The Amazing Race was like perfect timing because I was like, yes, I'm pushing through. I'm trying to face my fears. The day of the when I was on the hill, to me, I'm scared of heights, but it also felt a little dangerous, right? Because it was raining really hard, and we were on like a hill, like descending, and it was muddy as all get up, right? So it felt like I can slide right off the stairs because there was no banister on the side of the steps that we were going down. So had I slipped, there's nothing for me to hold on to or grab onto just in case I fell. So for me, it felt a little unsafe. But my wife helped me to push through. I pushed through. And then by the time the next day came, I was like, there's absolutely nothing that's going to stop it.
I could sail through the sky. It's fine.
Right. Why not?
Well, I always say, so after the race for his birthday, I surprised him with skydiving.
Ooh. Did you go yet?
Yes. Yeah. We literally pulled up and he was like, Michelle, where are we? I was like, babe, I paid for it already. So
I saw this man.
We didn't win $1 million. I don't know if you know, but we didn't win $1 million.
I saw this man on the billboard skydiving. I said, wait a minute, is that where we're going?
I said, babe, we're here.
I was like, you know what? We already hit. Let's go. Let's jump.
You're such a daredevil now. Look at you. The race changed you.
Listen.
Yes. The race changed us 100%.
Who's scared of heights? Not me.
Hello.
Not me.
These are not permanent. They're temporary.
That's it. You better preach.
Yes.
Well, was there anything we didn't see any of the episodes that you guys went through?
Well, I would just say I faced a fear, and you guys did see this, that in other countries in Mexico and Colombia, dogs run around like they're people. Mm-hmm. And so I did have a fear of dogs before the race, but being in those countries for the amount of time we were, you kind of gotta like get over yourself
because they're all over the place.
Because they're riding the escalators. You know what I mean? Like
that was a great moment in the episode.
Yeah, I love that moment, everywhere. But they're literally everywhere. And so what that did for me, just being around them so, openly, which is so much different than where we live in the States. So when I came back, I've been petting dogs. I've just had a different, the fear has been lessened towards our.
You haven't gotten a dog yet as a pet.
No.
Not there yet. You could go skydiving, but no dog yet.
I think people see us running on running on the show, but you have no idea how much we're actually running.
Yes.
Like we, especially the first and second episode, we were running. It felt like for hours. We were just running for hours with our backpacks on. It was ridiculous.
And that's why I thought when I saw people like saying, some people weren't in shape for the race, I was like, no, y'all don't get it. Everybody's in shape. Even the people who got out the first and the second leg, they could have handled the stuff in Colombia. They don't. You can't see it, but we were really running in the sun and the thing.
Yeah, the heat. It's like heat stroke.
Day.
Yes.
And so they're in shape. Shout out to the whole cast.
Yes, 100%.
They were definitely strong enough to do that race 100%.
There was no one that wasn't in shape
on that race. No,
it's just that we were running forever. That's it. That's it.
And then it's like run to the pit stop. It's like, oh, God.
It's like, wait, what? It's funny you should say that, right? I don't know how much time we have.
Yeah.
There was a point on the second episode when Michelle and we had to come back.
Yeah.
We had to get to Phil, we had to walk up maybe 50 stairs. At this point,
two different ways to get to the mat.
Two different ways to get to the mat. We had to go up the stairs with our bags on. My wife said, Sean, if I have to carry my bag, I don't think I can make it up the stairs, right? I said, me neither, right? So we're both dead tired. I had both of our bags. And Michelle's like, come on, Sean.
When I got to the top, I was like,
come on, Sean. Look, I was walking up the stairs. I was so exhausted. I was thinking, how am I saw my feet moving, but I couldn't understand how they were moving because I had absolutely nothing left.
And we saw Karishma them
and we saw them, but we almost lost because we couldn't walk up the stairs. Could you imagine that? Like we almost didn't make it.
We were on the steps like, all right, find the strength.
But we made it through, and that's another thing you learn about yourself. You don't know what you can do.
Yeah.
You have no idea what you're capable of, because still to this day, I can't tell you how I got up the stairs. I just saw my legs moving.
And
I didn't know how I got up
What
there.
the race did is it made us want to continue to grow and push those limits.
Right.
So as adults, you really get in your comfort zone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think the race taught me personally to just start to re-explore. You know what I'm saying? Or put yourselves in positions where you're forced to grow.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, it was great watching you guys on the show and great speaking to you today. Keep jump roping and maybe more skydiving. Have more dogs.
I said I'm gonna do it every year for my birthday.
There you go. New tradition. So thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
That was fun.